Taurus. So please make sure to get the book at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. The link will be in the description box below as usual. So let's get into it. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below also. So the cards that I come up with for the Taurus are the Sun card, the Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Chariot, very interesting, and the Empress. So very interesting, okay? Some of you Taurians, the Sun, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Four of Swords. Very interesting because this shows some form of reconciliation between some form of closure between yourself and a past love interest. Okay, and then you have the so you have all these three cards, right? And then you have this one, which represents you being happy in the position that you're in. These people are not necessarily happy, so this person isn't necessarily, that represents the Eight of Swords, isn't necessarily even there, right? Physically, but you're still celebrating forgiving yourself and forgiving the other person, right? The Three of Cups represents, like I said before, that celebration, right? And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about you not holding on to false ideas about yourself. As I said before, right? And I've said this many times on the other channel and this channel. Too many times people harbor the craziness that other people give to them, and they don't know how to let it go, right? Because of the ego. It's like, oh, what's wrong with me type stuff. Listen, if you're treating someone well and they're treating you like trash, or they're trying to, 10 times out of 10, not even 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with you. Because, correct me if I'm wrong here in the comment section, but nobody wakes up and says, you know what it is I'm going to do? I'm going to be angry at people who treat me right. Like, no, that doesn't work like that. Do you see how many people go and try to gain respect? That's what all this alpha talk is about. All this alpha, beta, sigma, gamma, zeta talk is about. That's what all this social hierarchy is about. It's about trying to determine who essentially is whom by figuring out who deserves respect and stuff like this. So nobody is going to wake up and say, I hope I get disrespected today, and I hope to disrespect somebody else, in my 24 hours that I have. It's like, that doesn't work like that. So what it is that it's past trauma, and this person tried to take it out on you, right? But obviously that didn't work, because a lot of you Taurus are letting go of that, thankfully. And then you have the Queen of Swords. Now, again, the Queen of Swords represents you're being very mindful about what happens. And that's good to a certain extent. But as I said, I say this many a times, is that with the Queen of Swords, there is a slight need for caution in that regard. Because what it says is that you may end up being a little bit too zealous or too enthusiastic to cut people off out of your life, especially when there's no need to. So you have to be very mindful. You have to be careful. You have to be observant about the quality of the people whom you're cutting out of your life. So in other words, like, how is it that the shirt, but how is it that that a person is really doing you wrong before you cut them out of your life? And this is why I say a million times, don't necessarily look at things morally. Look at things from a sense of principle. Because and this may be a longer video than expected, but morality is one of those things where morality doesn't really give you the actual full or the more fuller perspective of a situation. You understand what I'm saying? You know, morality is more so the theater, right? What is it that you think other people want to see from you, as opposed to you actually making a real decision. Sorry about that. As opposed to you actually making a real decision based upon you being stuck in between a rock and a hard place, right? When it comes to decision making. So when you weigh principles, principles more so get you to the point than anything. Sorry, the light gleaming. Sorry about that. But principles more so get you to the point more than morality does. Because with principles, right? Principles more so gives you a shot to understand that this person has already done wrong by you based upon the principles. Like for instance, right? How people will come to me, stuff like this. I'm just put myself out there just to give y'all an example. How people will come to me, and then I tell them the truth, right? Not necessarily the only truth, but I tell them the truth, right? Even when it's not necessarily something that they may want to hear. It's something really in their benefit. But what they really want from me is they really want me to tell them what they think that they want to hear, as opposed to letting them know, hey, listen, you have a tough decision that you have to make. This is really the situation. And, I'm just laying the decision out in front of you, right? And let you come to your own conclusions. Instead of people doing that, they'd rather waste their time, being all upset at someone that has nothing to do with the situation that they've got. So, and it's the same situation with you. The Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Cups represents how, yes, you may be you may actually evolve past through this self-doubt and disbelief and the anger, but it doesn't mean that everybody else will, right? And that's something that's really reserved for people who really are ready to move on, right? And the thing is that you have the Chariot and the Empress. Now, the Empress is ruled by Venus. The Empress actually, the zodiac sign that the Empress rules is Libra, but Taurus shares a planet with Libra, Venus. So, in this case, it'll have to substitute for the Hierophant or something like that, right? Of course. But you have the Chariot, and then you have the Empress, which represents how a lot of you Taurus is moving forward with your lives, right? And you're not allowing yourselves to be held back by your own self-doubt and like, you know what I mean? And complex, self-doubt, self-sabotaging behaviorisms. And then the Empress represents, you trust me, you will thank yourself for it later. So let's clarify the Empress and let's get out of here. So you have the Hierophant, which is Taurus, you see what I mean? The Hanged Man, and then you have the Six of Swords. So again, just kind of more confirmation letting you know, like, hey, listen, like, this is a process that you're going to have to continue to do for the rest of your life. It's not that you forgive someone and then when someone does something to you that is inconsiderate and hurts you, that you don't feel this. When people do stuff like that to you, you're going to have to learn. You all right? Okay. That's my family coming through. But you're going to have to make sure that you don't take it personally. And how you not do that, take it personally, is by letting it go. Is by forgiving yourself and forgiving them to a certain extent. Not forgetting. But that's pretty much it. Comment, like, subscribe. Peace.